All right, and we're back. This is episode 170 of the Taproom podcast, and I'm your host, Mike. Got a good one for you this week. It's the end of the Colorado tour from when I was out there a few weeks ago. Man, I had a great time. So this is with RedLeg Brewing, the owner, Todd Baldwin. Man, it was a great time, man. I know I talked about it before, but it was just such a beautiful day. Got there, it was a Friday. Got to go hang out with them. It was, around 12:30-ish, and it was just, they have phenomenal beer, and then not only that, they have just like the backdrop. We got to record on the little rooftop part, and you look around, and it's just beautiful skyline, right? And there's just something about it. I had the Springs Light, which is so good. I had a couple of their IPAs. Everything I had was fantastic, and can't say enough good things about Todd. And it bonded over college football, obviously talking beer and everything in between, and his whole journey. And it just goes to show, man, if you really want something, you can achieve it. You can do it. It's just a matter of you having that relentless will to get after it. So, I'm so appreciative of this industry, and I'm so appreciative of all the people that are, willing to do that, to just get after it like that. So cheers to you guys, and Todd, cheers to you, man. Thank you for letting me come down there and talk to you for a little while, man, and hear your story. It's also Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to my mom. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Moms are super important. They bring us into the world, right? I wish my mom lived closer so I could spend more time with her. But I will get out there soon to get out there to visit. So, but yeah, hope all the moms have a great day. Let's see. I recorded with Marin from Spindle Tap on Tuesday, and that was fun. Was it Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday we had a great time, and it was cool hearing her story and hearing about how Spindle Tap got started. So that was great. I'm looking forward to you guys hearing that in a few weeks. What else? So we got playoff hockey. Oh, you know what? I wanted to tell a story. So last night, Saturday night, watching the UFC fights, watching my Avs lose, but it's okay. They're up 2-1. Watching that and watching some of the Braves-Dodgers. Braves won yesterday. Dodgers won on Friday. We'll see who wins the rubber match today. But I wanted to say that I have a friend of mine named Shelly, her and her husband. I've known them since I was a kid. And my friend Shelly reached out, and she was just like, hey, I'm with this guy, Jarrell. He loves you. At least I'm hoping I'm saying your name right, brother. And he's like, he really he loves your story, and the show inspired him to open up a brewery. And I've had a few people walk up to me and, randomly in breweries and say hey, you inspired me to do this, or, you inspired this. Oh, the show did. And that just means a lot, because I talk about it all the time, getting out there, and I talked about it just a minute ago, getting out there and trying something and doing something you love. We have opportunities in life, and sometimes we're not willing to get after it or to chase it. We're just willing to just be content and just be unhappy, and man, I'm just appreciative of, them saying that. And kudos to you, man. Kudos to you for getting out there and doing what you love and finding something you love, and just being relentless. I love that, man. So kudos. And I told my friend Shelly, I was like, dude, just tell him to send me a message, man. I'd love to have him on the show. I'd love to hear the story. So it's awesome. All right, what else we got? Playoff hockey. We talked about that. The Ducks are down 2-1. I think they play today. Looking forward to watching that game. I think there's a couple games today. And then what else there is? I think that's about all I got for this week. I got to pack. I'm heading out to Monterey tomorrow for a couple days for work. Going to record with Hops and Fog, his brew pub out there. So I'm excited for that. Hoping I can maybe talk to one more before I go. Maybe I can get two while I'm out there, but I'm really happy to talk to the guys at Hops and Fog. It should be a really fun time. And I get to go see my aunt. So my aunt that lives up there. So it'll be fun. All right. So before we jump into the episode, If you'd like to support the show, you can do that in multiple ways. You can, if you want to purchase a t-shirt, or maybe not a sweater because summer's coming, but a t-shirt, it's taproompodcast.dashery.com. The link is also in the Instagram bio. So if you're not following on Instagram and you're listening to the show, come on, just give a little follow there. And then also, if you can, it's free. You can give a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple or wherever you're listening on. Apple does also allow you to leave reviews as well. So if you could leave a review, that'd be sweet. And then also, if you've ever been talking about wanting to do something you've always wanted to do, if you've ever thought about starting a podcast, it's too easy now not to do it if it's something you're interested in. So like, you have all the opportunity in the world. Mics aren't expensive. You can get yourself a cheap laptop and go record it. Go do what you want to do. Record at coffee shops, or, record at breweries, or interview whoever you want, and just have a blast with it. And who I use, and it's even easier now to just distribute podcasts. So I use Podbean. Podbean, gives me everything I need. So they can put it on Apple, they can put it on Prime, they can put it on Spotify, iHeart, all these crazy ones I've never even heard of that, I'm assuming that people listen to outside of the country. So that's available to you. And if you do it through Podbean, you would get your first month free. So they give you the analytics, the stats, all that. All you'd have to do is go to podbean.com/taproompod. Again, that's podbean.com/taproompod. And it'll give you all your options you have, and you'll get your first month free. All right. So let's jump into the episode with Todd Baldwin of RedLeg Brewing out in Colorado Springs in the Garden of the Gods. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoy the episode or enjoy the interview, and stay tuned for the outro. Cheers. All right, guys, we're back in the tap room, and I'm your host, Mike, and I have a very special guest on the show today. I have Todd Baldwin of RedLeg Brewing out here in Colorado Springs. How's it going, man?
Good, man. Just joined the patio.
Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful weather. And just nice and, what is it, like 60, 70 degrees maybe?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because that means more business for us. So
there you
the hotter
go.
the better.
There it is. I love that, man. So I'm having is this the West Coast?
Yep.
What's the ABV on this bad boy?
Like 6.5,
Okay.
6.3, somewhere in there.
So as long as it's not 6.7, right?
My kids would love that.
I'm sure they would. Well, cheers. I know you're having the...
Cheers. Got to work still, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so good. I was telling you a little off air because I want to hear about your journey in craft beer, but I found RedLeg, 5 years ago. I think it was like January or February 2021 when it was in the smaller tap room, and to see what it is now is like the growth and how a gorgeous tap room.
Thank you.
And a beautiful brew house, by the way. Yeah. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Like I said earlier, man, the bank loves it. And that's the most important thing for me right now is to pay off, like $37 million in interest or whatever it's going to be.
Okay.
But, you don't get so many swings to make a dream into reality. And that's certainly what we've done here. And to lay those foundation pieces for our community for a long time. And not many businesses get to change a community's culture, but I certainly think we've done that. And we're on our way to continuing to impact it every day, really.
I love it, man. So tell me how the dream even started.
I got out of the Army in 2009, 10, and I wrote a desk job for like a year and a half, and it was just absolutely miserable.
Okay.
And, it's kind of reaffirmed my desire to, work for myself. Whatever I put in is like what I got out of it. And I was getting ready to literally drop I can't do this shit anymore. Just moving on. And they're like, hey, man, before you do that, we want you to move to Little Rock. And I was at Fort Campbell, which is just north of Nashville. So I stayed in Nashville there for a while. Great town. And I was like, man, I'm not going to Little Rock. Yeah. Sorry. They're like,
not happening.
We'll pay you this much money. I was like, I love Little Rock. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And so moved to Little Rock. And I don't know, like 6 months later, maybe, got a new boss. And they sat in Memphis. And they made me drive 3 hours one way to get fired.
Jeez.
And I was like, yep, never again. And so... was I 28 years old, maybe 29, and started, I had this idea for RedLeg for a while. And at the time there were only a few hundred breweries like in the country, let alone a few thousand, 10,000.
Yeah.
And, very few were like sort of veteran military focused, like something that was important to me. And my wife was like, hey, you want to go to Colorado? I was like, where?
Where are we going?
All right. So packed up, came out here and went to probably 30 banks in town. 35, and they all, no experience, no nothing. So I did what every probably good entrepreneur does. Took out 18 credit cards in 20 minutes, balance transferred $250,000 in credit card debt. And that's how RedLeg started 13 years ago.
Oh, dang.
And yeah, went bankrupt there for a little while. Like had to sleep on the brewery cot. We were homeless. We lived in people's basements, like customers' basements, to try and keep it going. And then finally we got some of that credit card paid off, did it again because why not? And then we finally got a bank to give us a traditional lending or traditional loan. And yeah, 6-7 years later, boom. See what I did there?
Yeah.
You're welcome. And, we had our goal was to be the craft of the military, start selling on military bases. And we had done that. We probably the smallest brewery distributor in the country to actually have a full-blown contract with AFES.
Mm-hmm.
So we started pushing it out to Oklahoma and Texas and knew the market was sort of changing. You sort of felt the winds. I never forget, I listened to Bart Watson when he was still an economist for the VA at one of the CBCs. There's like 10,000 people in there and everyone's just ham-boned and from the night before. Yeah. I'll never forget what he said. He goes, for the first time in our industry's history, there's more fermentation space than there is customers.
Yeah.
And I was like, that dude just said, like, there's way more supply than demand. And I knew we had to get out of the warehouse, the strip mall type thing. That I just didn't think the industry was going to keep going in that direction.
Yeah.
So came back and we looked at, like 50, 60 buildings maybe in Colorado Springs, and nothing really fit us. And then one day I was pumping gas at that gas station.
Okay.
And I was like, what about that land? And we bought it 2 days later.
Wow.
And here we are. And of course, like every bank lined up to give us, the $6 million we needed. I mean, it was great to have 0 banks again to help us.
Yeah.
So we had to go a little bit non-traditional again in how we had to fund this thing. And then we started construction in January, and then March, COVID happened.
Yeah.
So we went from like 6 million to 8 million to 10 million. And we kind of finished at 11.5 million.
Wow.
But kind of like I said in the opening, there's only so many opportunities, I think, as a business owner and as a business in general to really say, all right, we're going to make these big changes that are going to impact our community. And we think for a really long time. And I mean, you guys got here. I mean, most tap rooms don't get this busy all day long, let alone the first 30 minutes we're open.
I know. I saw it was a packed tap room as soon as I walked in.
Yeah, man. This is how we roll.
Love it.
We get people from all over the country coming here. It's sort of funny. Like they'll have like their camera out, their video, whatever. Mm-hmm. Hey man, can I help you? No, we're good. Like, well, I mean, kind of own the place. I'm just curious. Like, yeah, we're gonna steal your idea. We're gonna move it to Chattanooga, whatever.
Oh, jeez.
And then they'll call me 6 months later and they can't figure it out. So I think it just shows you the incredible reach that RedLeg has now, the impact we're having not only locally but also in our military and veteran space, and then across Colorado. We get people that come down here now from all over the Front Range that want to see it. And it's just a great opportunity for us to continue to push our message, our brand, and show how good Colorado craft beer still is. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, so that's kind of the genesis of it all.
I love that. And even just for craft beer, when did you get into craft beer?
Probably like most people, man. It started like in my kitchen, and then it too much of a mess. Then I went to my garage, and that was like 2010, probably 2011 there, when I was getting out of the military and needed something to do, and I knew I was going to run out of money. So I said, all right, well, might just do it this way. And then just kept getting bigger and bigger. And then we got here. I appreciate some of the feedback people give, like, dude, you're not that good of a beer brewer. I'm like, all right, that's fine. But
yeah,
I've always wanted to be a business owner and see my hard work pay off. And we've been fortunate to have great brewers here the whole entire time. And yeah, I think sometimes it's hard to distinguish being a brewer or being, a taproom manager, ops manager, whatever it might be, and being a business owner, because they're not the same thing.
Yeah.
And I've had to learn that sometimes the hard way around here. And I'm not sure if this facility would have been a reality if I was, just sitting on the brew deck all day long, or the social media manager, posting stuff. And I think that sometimes can be a challenge for owners too, to sort of give back and say, hey, I trust you guys. This is what we're going to try and do. And this is the expectations, and we're going to meet them. And let's focus on like what's next and how we're going to do it, how we're going to fund it. And yeah, it's been rad.
It's great, man. And you can, obviously you can hear the passion in your voice, like talking about it, but even the part, you have to delegate, right? And it's great when you can build like essentially a family, right? Like with the brewer, with, whether it's the social media people or the beer tenders, any of that, when you can have that trust, and like, they know, like, yeah, he trusts me to go out and do what I need to do. Like, and you can focus on the business side of it.
Yeah. Well, I just want to be clear. Like, I failed for like a decade at doing this.
It's okay.
And, I still fail every day, and that's what's great about it.
Yeah.
And to have an open environment where someone can come and give you some honest feedback, and you can say, I appreciate that. Like, this is how I can do better. it's also the risk to sort of let it go. Maybe it's our situation. I don't know. Like, you have so much money on the line. I've put my kids in a debt until they're like 45 years old. Like, my bad. If something happens to me, like, that weight to deliver on your liabilities that you have is something I never realized how difficult it would be, just from a psychological standpoint, from an emotional standpoint. And if you see someone not doing something right, like, it's sort of, in most, I feel like, entrepreneurs' nature to like correct it and like, why can't you care as much as me? And it takes a while to sort of learn, like, it's not the best approach.
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of the reality of this new facility. I couldn't do every job here. I couldn't do everything. And how do we continue to grow? You have to trust. You have to be clear. You have to communicate effectively, and but also be open for the feedback to how to keep improving it. I mean, we have some employees that you met downstairs have been here for 12, almost 13 years now, and
wow,
it's pretty rare in our industry.
Oh, definitely.
So it's certainly a testament to a clear mission, like what we're trying to do and how we're going to go do it, and then me just trying to get out of the way as best I can.
Yeah. But I love talking to owners. I love talking to brewers, but it's that mentality, right? That it's never like good enough, and you want to continue to strive. Like, you can make a gold medal winning beer, and still the next year, like when competition time rolls around, you're still thinking like, hey, what can I do to change this up? Yep. What can I do to make this different than it was last year? It doesn't have to be like entirely different, but like little tweaks here and there to kind of continue to try to enhance a beer.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's a delicate balance too when you start changing beers around and people start to notice it. You're like, oh man.
Yeah, the regular.
But you're right. I think that's what makes a really good entrepreneur too, and a good like leadership team, is never being able to settle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did well this year, but this is what we're going to do this year. This is how we're going to do it. How do you guys feel about it? A lot of times we're fortunate. We're pretty aligned on what we want to do and where we want to go.
Yeah.
And, but, I mentioned earlier, I played college football, and I always sort of joke, it's easy playing sports from a like, this is our vision. We're going to win the conference title. We're going to go to the playoffs. We're going to win the national title, whatever it may be. Right.
Yeah.
And it's easy to rally an entire staff and team around that. In business, it's like, hey man, we got to make the owner more money. He needs another car, and, and how do you get employees to rally around like a common goal and a common theme and a common vision? And I think that's really the challenge. It's a challenge I didn't experience playing football in college or in the military. Well, you said we had to go do this, so we're just going to go do it. And, that's kind of the military a little bit. So having that buy-in and that shared purpose is really important as we've continued to grow. And, we're fortunate. Every year we get to grow, and that's not common in our industry right now, I feel like.
Oh, definitely not.
So the fact that we've done that is just another direct reflection and correlation to our great staff. Like, fortunate.
And even with that, like, it trickles down to the consumer too, because like I feel like once you've built a trust with, like, you can make anything and they'll want to come and try it. Like, it's a testament to what you guys have built here, getting here at 12:15 and the tap room being packed.
Yeah. And I didn't realize, and I don't think many of our employees realize how difficult it would be to move. And, a lot of our folks that have been with us, visiting our tap rooms for a decade plus or whatever, they had a lot of feedback, like, oh, I miss the old place. And I, at first I was very defensive of it, because obviously I had a little bit riding on the line. But about a year ago, I just started saying, I miss it too.
Yeah.
And I think they were surprised by that. But I said, but at the old tap room, we could have 47 people in there.
Yeah.
If we were lucky, our upstairs had an event, so maybe another 20. And I was like, without that tap room and the experience that our patrons and our employees gave to those patrons, we wouldn't be able to do this for our community.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, and I try and, like, look around right now. There's 1,000 people here.
Yeah.
And we get to impact 1,000 people a day.
Yeah.
I was like, that's why I miss the old place, because it was the groundwork to do this.
Yeah.
And I like how I explained that better than, no man, I disagree with you. You're wrong. This place is way rad. But it recognizes all those patrons and all of our employees who put in so much work to get us where we're at today, just in a better way.
Yeah. And even like going back to that time, what was it like the first time you ever saw somebody enjoying a beer at RedLeg?
I don't remember really much about the opening day. I remember like we just worked and worked for like weeks and weeks of coming up to it. And I was like, oh, we got to open the door. I do remember we had like a long line, and I was thinking like, is this even going to work?
Mm-hmm.
And, I honestly don't remember what time we opened. Let's call it noon.
Yeah.
And I'd say like 11:15, there was already like 40, 50 people deep. And we screwed up so much, and we would walk around and just beg people to give us, another chance, and we'll get better. We're trying to figure it out. And I think that was the first time it really sunk in that we can make it happen. We can make it work. And I think as an entrepreneur, you have to have a little bit of confidence and faith in yourself anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that really was one of those moments. And then, man, we were only open for like 2 days a week for like the first 5-6 months, man.
Yeah.
Just because that's all we could do.
Of course.
And then Molly, who's downstairs right now, she joined. She literally walked in one on a Friday night, and I was by myself. And I was like, hey, you can work for tips. And if you like it, you can stay. And 13 years later, she's still here. Like,
I love it.
It's just great to, I don't really do well at thinking backwards, like looking back.
Yeah.
And it's always just what's next? How do we move forward? But when I get to, so thank you for the question. When I get to, it's awesome to think about it and reminisce about where we started, 2,900 square feet, now 3 acres.
Mm-hmm.
It's different.
That's crazy, man. But congratulations, though.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, thank you guys for buying beer.
No, yeah, of course. Always. Wanted to ask you, so like for GABF, because then we talked a little bit about competition. What's it like for the breweries out here? Because I feel like Colorado Springs, the last time I was out here was 2021, but I felt like you could throw a stone and hit a brewery on, like 3 or 4 breweries on every corner. I felt like, what's it been like competition, or how was actually let's start with that. Like, how was the industry, or like how was like what's the brewery scene like now, even 5 years later?
Sure.
In Colorado Springs.
It's been cyclical. It's been the up and down, like probably most industries, when you sort of get that supply outpacing the demand.
Mm-hmm.
Then when RedLeg started, there's only 5 breweries in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
Maybe. And I think last I heard was like 38 or something was what we topped out at, 42, something like that.
Okay.
And I think we're back in the 20s now, or close to it. Yeah, it's been a great little community to be involved with. I don't think we have that sort of like diehard competition. Like we want to put you out of, it just doesn't exist in our industry, which is rad. Yeah, competitions, man. I didn't think I'd actually ever care too much about it, just from a like whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's about tap rooms and delivery and making sure your customers, and I quickly learned, no man, we got to compete. We got to compete well on a national level. We've been fortunate to place 4 times now. And I think it was interesting to see how much pride our city took in those placements.
That's great.
And not just from the constituency, but also from the other people in our industry, and vice versa. If they place and we don't, it's just great to continue to have that reflection. I think Colorado Springs, certainly when we first moved here, didn't have the best reputation across Colorado for a plethora of different reasons. And I think this facility, I think a lot of other things, I never thought I'd see people coming down from the Front Range to this facility just to see it.
Yeah.
And you always hear about people from Colorado Springs or the other Front Ranges go to Denver and the surrounding area. But for us to be able to have that sort of level of impact, you have to win awards and you have to do other things to really continue to expose your brand.
Yeah, of course. And for GABF, did you guys send anything this past year? I'm sure you guys did.
Yeah, I'm sure we did. I know we did. I let my brewers, like a couple of years ago, that's one of the things I just needed to offload from my plate. Like, we'd sit down and have these like hours long meeting about what we want to do. And I'm like, man, how about this? Like, can it win? Like, we've won. Like, and they're like, yeah, and I love it. I'm like, that's the one.
Yeah.
And I think our brewers have really appreciated that freedom to represent their brand. And we always try and be very cognizant of recognizing them, to say, no, like, this is their guys' stuff, and they do a wonderful job. And we really give them that freedom to make those decisions to represent the brewery the best they can, because brewers are a wonderful group of people to be around, and they're so committed to their craft. And especially on this scale, when you're pushing out thousands and thousands and thousands of barrels a year, tens of thousands of barrels a year, sometimes it feels like, to sort of reward them with that opportunity to represent the brewery the best that they feel. And I think it's been the best decision I've made around that, for sure.
That's great, man. I love that. And do you guys ever go out to like World Beer Cup or anything like that as well?
Yeah. So the last few years we just haven't. I think just sort of with the changing in the industry and whatnot, I think we are kind of like everybody else, maybe just sort of not feeling that vibe, and just making sure that we get everything right here.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought about it this year, and then like airplane tickets went through the roof.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I remember Philly, like 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was a fun one.
Yeah.
So it stinks to miss it. But yeah, we try and go. I think this is the last 2 years, the first 2 years we haven't gone.
Okay.
So, and then what was it, last year? We actually had a booth at GABF, which was our first time.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we felt that was worth our investment because of the reach we're getting kind of up in Denver area. So yeah, I think our industry is just settling.
Mm-hmm.
I know you didn't ask this question, but
no,
I'll
it's
answer
all
it.
Good. No, but ebbs and flows in every industry.
100%. Yeah. And I remind our folks, like, people vote with their dollar. And how do we continue to partner with our customers, both B2B and here in the Taproom? And, for the first time in our 13 years in business, we're competing against McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, and the Broadmoor all at the same time because things are so much more expensive. And I think that was a good way to help our employees understand the importance of someone comes in the Taproom, like, try to build a relationship with them and take it from there. So I have some people like, oh, the industry is going to be over. Like, no, man, like, that's
never going to go away.
I think maybe like 8 years ago, you just saw so much more private equity money coming in and things like that. And that money got called due.
Yeah.
It's 5 years. Where's that money? And guess what? Breweries don't make money as much as people think, for sure. And so guess what? People started pulling out of the industry. And, and honestly, I think it's unfortunate, people losing their businesses and maybe their livelihoods and whatnot. And it's also an opportunity for breweries that have been sustainable and have done well to continue to improve themselves. So yeah, I'm excited to see where the next decade takes our industry.
Yeah, and because of like the boom, I felt like you mentioned, like the private equity money, people are just like, oh yeah, we'll open up a brewery because everybody's going to craft breweries right now.
Yep.
And they would just kind of like throw money at it, but just because you throw money at something doesn't mean like it's gonna, like, the product's gonna be quality.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can buy the nicest, German-made brew house and everything else, and you can still put out like horrible beer.
Oh, definitely.
But at the same time, I mean, I think that was the industry pushed everyone to improve and improve and improve. And even when there was probably more breweries, people still chose like, hey, quality over pretty much everything. And
100%.
And that's we moved up here, and I think we spent almost $600,000 on quality, QA stuff.
Yeah.
To have a lab, a centrifuge, things that brewers of our size just don't have.
Yeah.
And we learn the hard way, like when you have a distribution channel and you got to put it on the loading dock and it's 100 degrees out. It's going to sit there for 5 hours, but it left our cooler. Then it goes in the liquor store, wherever's cooler. Yeah. And the customer picks it up and then the can explodes. Well, whose fault is it?
Yeah.
It's not our, it's not our, wait, it is our fault. Like, no matter what, it's our fault. And that's what we learned. We can make all the excuses in the world on, for whatever reason it might have been, but it was always our fault. And we just had to accept that. And we said, all right, how do we improve our quality, our shelf stability, and things like that, so our customers have the best experience? And, I think the investment, though it was hard to convince banks and stuff to help us fund that, I think over the long haul, it's been really great for our beer.
Oh, man. I mean, clearly you guys are doing a great job. Tastes phenomenal. So
thank you.
Of course. Have you guys had any new beers lately that you're kind of excited about?
Yeah. The cool thing about our brew system is we have the 4-vessel 20-barrel brew house and then the 2-vessel 7-barrel brew house on the same deck.
Okay.
So the brewers can do a production batch and a pilot batch all at the same time.
I love that.
And I think that's what has, when RedLeg first started, it was, what's your core brand beer? What's your core brand beer? And then, 4 or 5 years later, it was like, what's new? And our brew system at the time wasn't really adaptable to that new change in consumer behavior. And here at this facility, we really have the opportunity to brew, 100 new beers a year while keeping up with our beers in the market.
Yeah.
We have, so my favorite style beer is a Belgian beer. Like, Omegang got me into the industry 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah.
And like Funkworks, when I first came out to Colorado, like Funkworks was one of the first places I went to. And we have a barrel-aged Belgian down there, quad, that's going to be delicious, I'm sure. I think I'll be ready like in the fall. I'm like just super jazzed about that.
Okay.
Belgian beers just don't seem to hit they used to in the industry. So every time we put one up, I'm always super excited about it. We just made a Baltic porter in a rum barrel for actually a customer. We don't do this very often. Yeah. But there's a good customer here in town that asked for it for a private event. And and I tried some the other day, and it's so good.
Yeah.
And we partnered, man, I can't think of the rummery? Is that a word? Rum?
Yeah,
rum
probably.
distillery, something like
Yeah.
that, in Crested Butte. So we were
Okay.
able to go out there and snag 4 barrels from those guys, and keep it Colorado's great. And when we can support other industries like that, we always try and do it. But that one, man, I'll get you some before you guys leave.
I'll try. I'll give it a taster. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I love, like you mentioned, the pilot system. I love when a brewery can have that because, you get to try something different. You don't have to stick to the, like, however many cores there are, right? And you can be creative and like, even like trying to find that, like that balance between creativity and consistency. Like, I'm sure it can be tough at times.
Yeah. And the other big piece of that, besides everything you just said, is spot on. The other big piece is we wanted our brewers to not feel like they had to brew the same production batches in this huge system, every day, every night. And we really wanted their artistry to come out.
Yeah.
And to push the envelopes of new techniques, try something out. What if it failed, that's fine. We're not throwing a 60 barrel batch down the drain. So I think that is what I think I like the most about it, is to really be able to see their creativity over the last 4 or 5 years continue just to improve and just see them push the limits. And that's what our industry is about. Is that's what this facility is about. It's about dreamers, man. People who believe that tomorrow's going to be better than today, and that's who we brew for. And it's always fun to see what they come up with, because this might be something weird, but it's going to be good.
I love that though. It's fantastic, man. So I have a segment called the 4-pack. This one, it's 4 questions.
Okay.
So first one is, what's one beer that never leaves your fridge? It could be one of yours, and then also another beer from another brewery out here, or a macro.
Okay, man. What beer never leaves? So I got, probably for the last few years, we put it out. We put out a Mexican lager 2 years ago, and we partnered with a local baseball team.
Okay.
And man, it's just the boys just nailed it. The packaging's cool. It's like the sugar skull, black and purple, and the white sugar skull on it. It looks rad. And before that, it was Springs Light. I know this is all light beers, I guess, for right now.
Okay.
But like we pushed out a 4% Crusher.
Oh yeah.
5 years ago, and I was like, no, man, the industry. That's one of the few times I put my foot down.
Yeah.
Because they were like, no, light lagers ain't gonna come back, and I was like, dude, I
they're
feel like it's coming, man. Like,
they're
and
back.
we are so happy we put out. It's called Springs Light.
Yeah.
And I mean, we just we run up against some of the big boys, and we compete really well against it on that category. And that beer is just nothing but take off. So the last probably 5 years, it's been those two. I'd say the most.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's as far as I can at least remember. Before that, I was probably just too intoxicated and doing dumb stuff to remember too much. And my kids came around, so I was like, all right, I gotta calm it down a little bit here.
Nah, that happens, right?
No doubt.
Next question, or the second question is, if you weren't in beer, what would you be doing? And hopefully it's not the corporate, or it could have been what you wanted to do when you were a kid.
No. I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. My mom, she had her own business, and to watch her sort of go through that and struggle and try and compete, and looking back on it, I wish I would have paid more attention. But yeah, I mean, as long as I can remember, I took an entrepreneurship class in high school, which that was pretty rare to offer somewhere like that. I feel like, I just knew that this is something that I always want to do. So it's such a canned answer, I feel like, but it's so true. Like I would have another business. Like, people always ask me, well, if you sell this thing, what are you going to do next? And I'm like, oh, just jump right back in, man. Like it wouldn't. Yeah. So there's no point in selling it.
Yeah, of course.
And so I'd find something, I think a good entrepreneur sees a need and the ability to adapt to that need, and then deliver on it, and then be creative about it, and then goes from there. So it'd be something else.
Okay. Question 3 is, you get to collab with any brewery in the world. Who is it, and what would you make?
I'd go Oma Gang, just because they're the ones that got me into it.
Yeah. So there's some wind going on there. You're good.
It's part of being here so close to the mountains, right?
Yeah.
It's right there. Sometimes people ask us what time we let the deer out too. It's sort of funny. And they're like, oh man, where are you from?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm from Mississippi. I'm like, oh, I could tell, because the deer are wild, bro.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. But I'd say Oma Gang, just because I just remember trying, I was a light beer crusher, like probably most people still am sometimes. But that was the first beer that sort of changed my opinion about what a beer could taste like.
Yeah.
And I think I'll never forget that sort of change in my perspective and in my mentality. So I think that was just sort of the one, and it'd be fun to do with them. I know they're not in Colorado, but I guess if I had one vote, probably be that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. The last one is, what's your guilty pleasure that you secretly or not so secretly love?
Oh, guilty pleasures. I guess I'll go with college football, man. Like
Okay.
I guess this is probably a longer story than it needs to be, but here you go.
Good. Let's hear it.
After like 6 years, maybe in the industry, maybe 5 years, my employees were like, "Hey, man, you need a hobby." I was like, "I have one. It's this." They're like, "Nah, you need a real hobby." And these football officials, high school football officials, kept coming to the brewery, and they were like regulars. And then they asked me a year before that, "Hey, we heard you play college football. Like, you'd be a great official." I was like, "Yeah, no, no way,
Not happening."
And then the employees got me again, like, "Hey, man, you got to figure something else out."
Yeah.
And I appreciate the feedback, right? Like, look what it got us to now.
Mm-hmm.
And those dudes were in the brewery, and they're like, "Hey, man, you should officiate football."
Yeah.
I was like, "Fine."
And
then my daughter was born, and then like 3 weeks later, my first season of high school football started. And then it's terrible as it sounds. And I was like, "No, man, I got to get to college. I got to get out of this stuff." And then a few years later, I was fortunate to get into, I guess, what was that, 3 years ago? I got into Division II.
Okay.
And that's where I've been at for the last few years and trying to work my way up like everybody else. So it's, I'm a kind of in the middle of the field, so I get to talk to a lot of the players, and I think it's been fun to talk to them, and I think they know if you played or not. So, but and also the coaches, man, like, they make a lot of money now, and they can scream, and they can scream really well, but being in the middle of the field, you kind of get to avoid some of that. So, that's probably my guilty pleasure, I guess, and it's not so secret. So,
okay,
yeah.
So, Delaware, the Blue Hens, they used to be Division II. Now they're Division I. Did you ever officiate any of their games?
No, I haven't.
Okay. I thought maybe they came to town one time.
No, the RMAC is what I'm in now. It's like South Dakota, Nebraska, Colorado, and then one school in New Mexico. So it's kind of where we stay. But yeah, it's been fun, man. Like, I'm always shocked with how much like work goes into it now. Like, even when I played 20 years ago, oh my God, it was called 16 years ago.
Yeah.
It's so different now with NIL and how much money these players, even at Division II, how much money these players can make. And their rosters are just turning over so fast every year now with like the portal and stuff. I mean, I'm super jealous. Like, I wish I could have made money like that.
Yeah.
Because I just remember being hungry and poor.
Yeah.
That's what I remember the most about football. So, yeah. Yeah, guilty, I guess.
Okay.
Guilty as charged.
Nothing wrong with it. What do you say we grab another beer?
Yeah.
All right, we're back. I got the Springs Light, and you said coming in at 4%?
Yep.
All right, well, cheers.
Cheers. Enjoy.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it just fine. You can that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm buying a 4-pack after.
It comes in a 6-pack, so you're lucky.
Oh, there it is. Even better. So I wanted, like, we were talking a little bit about like the trends, within, because I feel like every state you go to, there's different trends. Even before the light lagers and all came back, like, was there something you saw, like, or like a style here that you saw that would sell more, like, or, like consumed more, I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, we keep a really close eye on it because that's how beers make it into like production for outside sales. So we have a way here of sort of measuring the velocity, how fast it's going. And then like, all right, like, well, fruited sours are coming popular. Like, all right, well, let's look at that. And for us, it's been important to try and, we're fortunate to have a big enough tap room where you kind of get that. It's not like 20 people who think about it. It's, thousands and thousands and thousands of people who give you that feedback. And I said earlier, people vote with their dollar, and it's the same thing with production outside, and that's where like the whole light lager thing came from. We just sort of felt the changing of the industry towards that direction. And, fortunately we got in on the front side of it, and now you just can't make it enough. You can have, I never thought we'd have a light lager and a Mexican lager in the market at the same time. And super thankful we did.
Yeah. No, I mean, and I was always hoping, because I love lagers. Don't get me wrong, West Coast is probably my favorite, but like a West Coast Pils is always good too. But I love a lager or a Pilsner because like you literally like have to be perfect.
Yeah.
You have to hit all your marks, and you can't hide behind anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what makes it like the perfect beer.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you're spot on. Like, at least in my opinion, people know exactly what that should look like, what it should taste like. Yeah. And you just can't throw a bunch of hops at it to hide it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes those beers very challenging. And at the same time, I don't think they get enough credit for how hard it is to make that beer. And it's impressive that our brewers can continue to do that at a much higher level. And, the last few years with some of the supply chain issues, can you get that ingredient? Can you not? Like, how do you continue to manipulate it to make it exactly, the same way every time?
Mm-hmm.
And no, you're right, man. Like, for me, that's just kind of my go-to right now. It has been for a long time, and it's delicious.
Oh yeah. Now, I wanted to ask you, like, what do you feel like is like one of the hardest parts of obviously running a brewery, or like something that just like some things that people like underestimate, like, because don't get me wrong, like I have an appreciation for the product or the beer because I know the story behind it. But I mean, for the average consumer, they don't know all the heart and, the sweat that goes into everything, and like birthdays get missed and, like those kind of hardships.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like is like one of the harder parts of being like running a brewery?
Good question. I have like 6 answers for that.
It's all good. We can
like
get all 6.
I've always felt the brewers don't get enough credit for how hard it actually is to do what they do.
Yeah.
And to make it as consistently as they do. It truly is like someone trying to paint the same painting every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone knows like it's impossible.
Yeah.
And for these guys to hit, 97, 98% efficiency every time.
Wow.
And it's truly amazing. And you're right. Some days it's 4 a.m. till noon too, and then the next brewer comes in and it's noon to 10 p.m. And we do that 6-7 days a week. Wow. And for them not to lose the passion in what they do and the quality that they continue to aspire to produce, it truly is. It's just think how many things can go wrong from
definitely
from pre-fermentation,
stuck mash,
right, and then no DO pickups along the way, and then you're going to can this product, and then how much does get picked up there, and just to be able to get it, when we were doing military bases, thousands of miles away,
wow,
and still have the product that represents them and in a great way. The other thing I always think, like our taproom staff, like since COVID, everyone's moved on from COVID, and I think they were treated great for as best you could during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a little bit of a lull there where they were still going, but now we're sort of back to like, sometimes they just get treated horribly. And you're just like, really? Is that what you're mad about?
Yeah.
I mean, you drank like 90% of the beer, so it could have been that bad.
Yeah.
Or, our facility has is a bigger one, so we, allow dogs in certain places, and we always try and remind people like just good dogs, right? And then I don't know why my dog bit you. Like, I have no idea why.
Yeah.
And, and then of course it's our fault why that happens. And
I
just always feel bad, bad for, you hear some of the things, you're just like, really?
Yeah.
This person's just trying to help you out, man. Make your day great.
Yeah.
So I think the tip fatigue thing is hurting too. Like,
oh yeah.
Now you go to, the dog food supply store and they want a tip. You're like, wait, are you even a tipped employee, bro?
Yeah. You can go pick up the stuff yourself out of the thing and they still ask for a tip.
100%.
Like, yeah.
So I think just sort of going through that, weathering this storm, hopefully where they can, get back to pre-COVID sort of how this respect that happens. And I want to be clear, like it happens
of course.
very, very rarely, but I think it always seems to be a big incident and we got to record it and we got to put it on social media. And it's just sort of, I feel bad. And we remind them, we don't want you to walk on eggshells. We want you to be yourself, and we want you to, and we think people will appreciate that and be genuine. And if you don't like it, like, okay, fine with us. Somebody else come in the door, so we're good.
Exactly.
And
you're not hurting for business down there.
And I think giving our employees that for so long, I'm sure many of them felt like the customers are always right. And to a point, for sure, like we want to make it right for you.
Yeah.
And we've had to get better at saying, how can I make this right? Tell me exactly what you need to make this right for you. Well, nothing.
Yeah, there's some people
then
you
if
can't
it's nothing,
please.
then there's nothing we can do to help you. Like, and to arm them with those tools and techniques has been helpful for us over the years, I think.
Oh yeah. It's even like something like Untapped, like, which I think is fantastic for the industry. But there's also the people that will go and rate a beer. They're like, oh, stouts really aren't my style, or West Coast aren't my style, but I drank this one 2 stars.
Yep.
It's like, then why the fuck are you rating it, dude? Like,
I hate stouts, but this one was really bad. It's like, wait, you just said you hated it. Why are you drinking it,
Why'd
bro?
you even order it? Like, like, and I get it. Like, find like, because I always say like, find your gateway beer, like, but like, if you're not into that style, like, then don't talk about it.
Yep.
Right. Like how is it relevant for you to talk about something like that? But people just want, They feel like everything that they say or everything that they do has to be heard.
Yeah.
And sorry, bro, it doesn't.
Yep. Not for sure.
It just doesn't. Yeah. Other people feel a certain way. Those keyboard warriors, right?
Yeah. Well, and we want to hear from you. We want to know how we can improve. We want to know how we can be better. For us, it's always, is it productive?
Mm-hmm.
If you're just going to yell at us just because you don't like our location, like, well, that's not changing, man. Like, sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
You're like, I'm in it for millions.
Yeah.
So.
But, I feel like most businesses want to do the best thing. They want to take care of their employees. They want to take care of their customers if they're in like a service industry. But there is a different level. I mean, I've been around for long enough, I feel like, to make this opinion. There's just a very small minority of individuals who it just can't be right. It won't be right. And now I need to make sure the whole world knows about it. And that's just, it's just too bad. Yeah. Because the business isn't going to learn that way. And if a consumer shows up with a closed mindset, there's no way that they can find out, I do judge my kids, right? Like you can't say you don't like it till you try it.
Yeah.
Right. And,
exactly.
And what was that book, right? You learn everything you need in kindergarten. Like that's so true. Like, but it's not going to stop us from opening up our facility and inviting people here and trying to make great memories for them.
Some people just want to see the world burn. So is it The Dark Knight or is it Dark Knight Rises? It's one of those. Yeah. But no, you can't please everybody. Yeah. And I just feel like trying to do that there's no point, right? Like you want to do what you can to like for your community, which you built a phenomenal community here. And even with that, like and I love like anything military, like I'll always do. My dad was in the military, he was a Marine. So my grandpa was in the military, he's a paratrooper. So anything like, military or veteran owned or anything like that, I always want to do what I can to support. So like, even like, obviously like that's a big part of your brand, right? So like, how does incorporating the community within the brand, how did that, I mean, not that how did it all come about, but like, how did you like really want to, obviously being in the military yourself, like trying to think of, I know what I want to say, but it's just not coming out the right way.
I can just start answering if you want.
Yeah, if you want to.
See if I get there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sort of our military thing came from two things. And the first one I'm going to talk about sort of has morphed quite a bit over time. So I was an artillery officer, but I was in an infantry company in the Army because every infantry company gets one artillery officer. And those guys just slug it out. Yeah. And we didn't go to we went to one of the worst places on earth, and the appreciation for what those young people have to do is truly, truly unforgettable, but also there's no way you could thank them enough for what they have to go do every single day, every single night. And, there's not many of us left. Yeah. And it's sort of crazy to think, we started out with 125-ish or so in our rifle company. And now there's like 30, 40 guys left. Wow. And you're like, and that's not all from combat, right? They come home, they have struggled. They can't find jobs. They can't find work that they sustain. And RedLeg has become, at least for me personally, I get these phone calls or, text messages or however they want to reach out to me, like, hey, sir, keep going. Like, this is awesome. Thank you. Like, you're helping me keep going too. That's so cool. And I never wanted to come back home and use my veteran status or whatnot to have any sympathy. Like, I signed up for that and I did it. And I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to honor through my hard work, my dedication, those soldiers who don't have that opportunity anymore. And I was surprised with how many soldiers still reach out and are still impacted by this business. And it's truly an honor to be able to give them sort of that shining light to say, all right, you can keep going too. Yeah. And that's something that is important to me to kind of hold on to. And then the other piece is I think you're sort of alluding to was, Colorado Springs there's 4 military bases here. It's rooted in the military. And when looking at where to do this business, it sort of made sense. And I don't know how many folks we've helped over the years, thousands at this point, probably, land employment here locally. I remember, so I'm on the national SBA board now, but when I first started, I was like kind of on the local one here, the SBDC. And they didn't have anyone on the military bases. Like soldiers were just leaving Colorado Springs and going wherever else they wanted to go. Okay. But there was no sort of, and I remember picking up the phone and calling her and I was like, hey, you need to get someone here to go to these TAP classes and whatnot as you find these folks that want to start businesses in Colorado Springs to help them stay here. And they were like, oh, that's a really good point. And I'm like, Yeah, that's a good point, man.
Yeah.
There's like 100,000 soldiers in Colorado Springs. Like,
Yeah.
we got to figure this out. And that kind of started my journey down other things like that. We have quite a few veterans that work here, and they're a big part of what we do. They're a great part of what we do. They know the mission, but at the same time, they know when something's a little bit off course, and they're really good at making sure that I know about it.
Yeah.
And they're awesome. And when we first started, I remember like a week or two in it, someone said, "Well, I didn't know I could come here because I thought it was just for military only."
Oh,
I was like, "This isn't the VFW, man! Like, what are you talking about?" And, it was funny. Like, that was something I never thought we'd have to break through. But that first year, we had to remind people that anyone can come here and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I answered your question, but
no, that's exactly what I wanted. I just couldn't get it out. But I love the logo and I love everything about it, man. And it's great when you can have that community and just everything that you're doing. I just feel like I'm super appreciative because I mean the military needs it. Like, the vets, like you said, they come back and it's tough for them.
Yeah.
It's tough for them to readapt to what a day-to-day life is. So.
Yep. Yeah, no, for sure. Our employee, Dave, who handles all of our military accounts here for the brewery, this will be the 8th year we've done a Memorial Day run. And we go up against, Boulder and stuff like that. But we partner with an organization, Angels of America's Fallen, that sponsors an activity every year through their 19th birthday, I think, no matter what. And, this could be, I mean, some of these, poor kids have left both parents.
Yeah.
You're just like, this is nuts. And we started running, we were like, hopefully like 20 people, 50 people in the first year. And we give all the proceeds and stuff to this organization. And this year, we'll write another check at the end of it, but it would be like $75,000, $80,000.
Wow.
And there are businesses that never give that away in their entire career, let alone in one event.
Yeah.
And to think that we've hit, we're coming up on 1,000 participants this year.
That's so cool.
And to know that impact and what it goes for and who it supports, I don't know if I ever would have thought a business certainly like ours could do something like that. And then that doesn't diminish what we do every single week with our community events and community partnerships where we're helping them raise money as well. So like those first few years, I remember like, oh man, the bank president and my CPA, like, you gotta stop giving so much money away. Stop it, and the reality of a business hits that right in the teeth.
Yeah.
And how do you have a great plan to give back and to honor those folks, but also at the same time, there's liabilities that have to get paid. So
yeah.
100%,
man. Now, so the next one, it doesn't necessarily go with, obviously I was talking about the military, but it's called situational beers. Now, which one do you feel is best? It could be beach beer, pool beer, shower beer, golf course beer, concert beer, airport beer.
Oh, man. Not much of a beach guy.
Okay.
It's my wife. She loves beach. So.
All right.
Shower, no. No.
Depends on the day.
I have too many kids now for that.
Okay.
Let's see. I have it between two, airport and concert.
Okay.
Because I've gotten super, super ham bone at airports before.
Okay.
So much I like missed the flight. Whoops. I'm gonna go concert probably.
Okay.
Colorado Springs has really changed the last few years with more music venues popping up, and then here with our we could put 1,000 people out there to watch a show.
Yeah.
And our goal this year is to bring in larger acts and very similar to what concerts can do to bring people together. I think that's what our facility sort of represents as well.
Yeah.
So I'll go concert.
I love it. Okay. And the next one, so we've done the 4-pack. Now it's time for the 6-pack. These are more rapid fire. So lager or IPA?
Lager.
Okay. Hazy or West Coast?
Hazy.
Music or sports at a brewery?
It's not very quick, is it?
Yeah, that's all right.
I'll go music.
Okay. Thought for sure we were gonna get college football.
No, we only have 2 TVs downstairs.
Okay.
And we really want people to hang out and enjoy it. So
I love that.
I'll go music.
That's great. Okay. Next one. Favorite brewery outside of RedLeg?
Outside of RedLeg.
Yeah.
I'll go. Man, it has to be in Colorado Springs or just Colorado or anywhere.
Yeah.
Man, favorite brewery outside. I would say New Belgium, man. Like what they've done on I don't know why that was hard for me to say, but so much respect for like what Kim Jordan, and the Jordan family did there for so long, but to be able to give it back to your employees.
Yeah.
What they've done for Fort Collins, what they've done for craft beer in general, especially I think maybe as we
definitely.
got, I guarantee you I would have given you a different answer before we moved to this facility.
Mhm.
But when we went from like 12 employees to 70 employees,
Yeah.
you really start to respect like how hard it is to make these things go.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I remember when I used to sell our beer and deliver it in my car when I
Wow.
first started. But to meet some of those Rangers and they're like, I'm an employee owner, and like the pride they took in that, it was rad to see that, before the craft beer rave and how well they did in the market. So
Oh yeah, with Fat Tire and everything,
Right.
like exploded. It's like
Yep.
everyone. It was like Newcastle at that point.
Yeah.
Everybody was drinking Fat Tire.
I mean, 100%. And I feel like most people probably say that was their sort of gateway beer.
Mhm.
But then, and New Belgium probably struggled there for a while, and then for them to recreate Voodoo Ranger and like
Yeah.
what that Voodoo series is now, like they're just at the top, and they're gonna stay there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Good job.
There it is. Next one, favorite drunk food
My favorite drunk food
or hangover food.
Yeah, if I'm hungover, it's like just more miserable than anything. Especially now I hit 40 and I'm like, oh God, what happened? Favorite drunk food? I'm gonna go like wings
Okay.
and like cheese curds, something like that. Just awful for me.
You can't go wrong.
Yeah, like looking for that heart attack. But they have to be like double dip. I call it double dip. They mostly know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
So like fry it, and then I want you to grill that sucker. And
Oh,
then if
yeah.
you need to fry it again, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Bring it on. But something like that.
Next, in Kansas City, where my mom lives, there's a place right by her house, but they do like they fry them and then they char them after,
Yep.
and they're so good. All right, next one is, if your personality was a beer style, what would it be?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. What do you think it would be?
A Belgian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little wild, lot of head there. It's probably true. I think some people see me as like, amber, just straight away, right?
Yeah.
But that's just not me. Like I'm more like, but I think that's what people get to see, because that's just sort of the role I have to play now, or the role that I've, I need to do.
Yeah.
But I'd probably say something like that. That's probably fair.
Yeah.
Some barrel aged and strong, probably.
There you go.
I'm a pretty big dude, so.
Yeah. The reason Belgian, I was thinking, because of like the amount of like love and care that has to go into that product is why I chose Belgian.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Because clearly you care about your employees, you care about, obviously, the military, you care about like this facility, you care about the beer being consumed, and everything. So, I mean, and again, like, not trying to teach your horn or anything, but that like the entire facility, like the containers, right?
Yep.
Or, like the food truck or the food stands, I guess, like that. I heard somebody was telling me, I was talking to somebody at Strange Craft, and they were telling me, oh, you got to get those Sasquatch cookies.
Yep. They're pretty good.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'll have to try one of those out too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about that. Someone in Denver area knew who we were.
Yeah.
Like, that never would have happened 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Bristol, is it? Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. That one brewery down in Colorado Springs. I think they're and that's how it used to be. Like,
yeah.
And Bristol's done such a good job for so long, and they've earned that, that reputation. But yeah, man, like I've said earlier, like it's just shocking people come here from all over the state to see it.
Yeah.
And it's rad. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So next one is, you can have a pint with any historical figure, celebrity, sports figure, alive or dead. Who are you having a beer with?
I'm going to go with, I'm a Civil War guy, so I'm going to go with General Grant.
Okay.
I feel like he gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
Yep. I would, one, because I think he drank a lot too.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to see what that was like. But I think in our American history, that was a challenging time to preserve the Union and whatnot. And he was the first guy, in my opinion, at least, to put it all together. Like, we have to move on more fronts than just one, and put it all together. And I think that's probably who I'd choose.
Okay. Love that answer. That's great. Next one is your Mount Rushmore of breweries. And then we'll do styles as well. So
dang. All right. Well, obviously I'll go back to New Belgium because of what they've meant for our industry. What else is there? I'm going to go Weldworks for what they've done with like the hazy IPA craze. I mean, that just brought in a whole new style. Like, good for them. Good question. I'm still like, I can't remember their name. Portland Brewery, downtown. But it was my first time I had like a fresh hop IPA, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
And we were out there visiting our hop farm, and Burnside, maybe that's who? Yeah, I think maybe Burnside. Anyway, but these guys would go literally out in the hop farm when they're getting picked, and then just put it right in a beer. I'm like, "That's amazing!"
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, I love it.
So just like such a great style and unique style they have out there, to be able to do that is so cool. I'll put a friend of mine on here too, Service Brewing in Savannah, Georgia. Kevin Ryan is one of the owners out there, and he was in the military too. But different approach to go about it than RedLeg, but it works. It works really well for them. And to have two sort of breweries on different sides of the country here, kind of doing the support of the military and giving back and all that stuff. He's actually the guy that told me about getting with a baseball team, I think.
Yeah.
Because he got the Savannah Bananas before it got too big.
Dang, yeah,
so
now
he makes
so
his banana
popular.
beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, we need to do that out here. And it's just great to see another, brother out there doing well and all that stuff. So something like that, probably.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Beer styles: Belgian, light lager.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm like toss up here between West Coast and hazy.
Okay.
I'm gonna go West Coast just because it's just had such great staying power.
Oh yeah.
Even with the haze craze, that thing just stayed
Mhm.
strong, at least for us, and I feel like for most people, it stayed pretty strong there.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'll put that up there, and then last one, huh?
Yeah,
Dang it!
you got this.
I'm gonna go with something barrel aged. Like as long as it's
Okay.
got a barrel on it, I think what you can draw out from the oak or the
Mhm.
pot, whatever it is, to be able to put that into a beer, like it's just rad to be able to do that. So
Oh yeah.
there you go.
All right, love it. Okay, next one is if you could bring something back from when you were a kid that's not around anymore, what would it be?
Playing outside.
There you go.
And maybe I'll caveat on that. Like, I let my kids the other day bike to a friend's house that was like 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
And people were like, how'd you let your kids outside to bike like that?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. Like, are you going to take my kids? Like, what were you thinking, man? Like,
Yeah.
why'd you say that?
Yeah.
But, just the trust in society again
Mhm.
to like, I wish that could come back.
Yeah, even like when growing up, it was like, all right, we'll be back at the house when the lights go on at night,
100%.
right?
100%.
It's okay. And that was, but not to sound like, an old timer, because I'm 39 now, but like, it felt simpler. Like we
Yep.
still had video games, but it was before the, like, all the phones and everything like that and the tablets.
Yep.
So we were still outside, still playing baseball, still playing football, still doing all that. But then we still could go in there and play video games, but it was still like we were all playing together. We weren't just streaming something.
Yep.
Me and my brother, Zach, here that's sitting with us, we're talking about that. It's like, we were talking earlier how he missed all of us being in one room.
Yep.
Playing together.
Yep.
And like, it was still like, yeah, we're playing video games, but we're still talking shit to one another.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Or I'm going to kill you or whatever, you
Yep.
know? But yeah, like just that, like that, because that was our community.
Yeah.
Back then. And now it's just like everything's online, and which is, don't get me wrong, it has its benefits, like, but still, when
Yep.
you can all be together and you just, enjoy the moment kind of thing. Like you mentioned, only having the 2 TVs down there, I think that's fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always wonder how my children are going to grow up, and I kick them outside probably to a fault, but I'm just like, come on, outside, let's go. And they might be outside for like an hour maybe, and they'll be,
Mhm.
I'm bored. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, you're not. Keep going. And
You got this.
I would, I'd be gone for days if I could have.
Yeah.
When I was, younger. But yeah, it makes me nervous kind of where society's going with this.
Mhm.
And I think what's always made us great as a country is our ability to compromise around things. Like, we might not agree with you, but
Yeah.
we can get to the middle and compromise about it. And
100%.
it just feels different the last little bit here. And I think that's sort of now seeping into how we treat each other, and makes me nervous. So
Yeah.
I hope we can get back to it.
I hope so.
What makes us great is being American.
Yeah.
And
1,000.
our ability to disagree with each other, but then also compromise and keep going. So
Got to find a way.
Yep.
All right, last one.
Okay.
If you had to describe yourself in one word, what would it be?
Authentic.
I love it. I can see that. You being you. And we all should be able to be that way, right?
Yep.
So.
Took me a while to be that way.
Yeah.
Because when I started RedLeg, it was, I would say too much, right, to the employees, and it wouldn't come true. So that I was lying, or else I wouldn't say anything, and then things would happen, and they'd be like, "Why don't you tell us?" And I could never figure out what. And there's a certainly happy medium there, but
Mhm.
I realized pretty quickly, like, this is just who I am, and
Yeah.
and this is something I learned probably 6 months ago. We got a new COO here, which is something we never really had, something like that.
Mhm.
And he and I were just talking, and I just said, culture, the culture talk, mission, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But I just sort of got to the point where I was like, I'm never going to show up to that brewery again if I'm not in the right mental state
Yeah.
to demonstrate the culture that I want for all my employees.
Yeah.
And if I'm not ready to do that, then I'm not going to come in.
Yeah.
I'd rather just not come in here
Yeah.
for too long, too stressed out, little things might fire me up, and that's not what I want to give my employees and the example I want to set.
Oh yeah. And we
And,
all have our days too, right?
and I think as the owner, you don't get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Even when you're like, maybe it's just because we're the size we are now, but like, yeah, man, if I'm not ready, willing, mentally in the right state to demonstrate the culture I want them all to strive for and be,
Mhm.
I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's helped me in ways I just am proud of. And that's where authenticity comes from.
I love it, man. Well, thank you so much, man, for letting me come down in here and enjoy some of
Sorry,
your
you have to
amazing
hang
beer.
out, drink beers on the patio, look at the
Oh,
mountains for a while. You
I
can go see
know.
Garden of the Gods. You can see the start of it right there. So
Beautiful day.
our
And
bad.
no, yeah. No, man, thank you so much. This is like because obviously I wanted to talk to you guys. Like that was like, I wanted to talk to Bierstadt out there. And it was like, when I come out to Colorado Springs, like I have to talk to RedLeg, because I remember telling my brother when I came out in 2021, I was like, I'm just trying to look for local breweries. And I looked up and I found yours and I found the original spot. Like I would always tell people, like, it reminded me of like a Cheers,
Yep.
right? It was just like it seemed like everybody knew each other. And that's what I love about this community. So like, and then when I saw because when did this opened up, this actual
July of 2021.
Okay. So that's when it was. I saw that you guys opened. I was like, man, I got to get back out there one day. And then it just so happened that I had the excuse of my niece having another baby. So I was like, all right, I got to get out there for that. And then I could do that. So
I hope she's doing well.
Oh yeah, she's good. And her hubby's over here. So yeah, we're excited about that. But I was like, all right, well, maybe I can get RedLeg too.
Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you for the questions. And I
No.
hope your listeners got something out of it.
No, thank you. I mean, everybody come down. So again, it's off of, Garden of the Gods and 30th.
Yep.
So come down, enjoy some beer if you're in the Colorado area, if you're in the Denver area, or anywhere. Just if you're looking for a road trip or looking to get away for a weekend, come out here, enjoy the views, enjoy the fantastic beer, and just, always support local. Yeah. Well, cheers, man.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I did my best with the audio. I think I got all the wind out, but we shall see. There was a little bit of, we were recording on a rooftop, and it's a beautiful day out in Colorado, so a little windy, but it was majestic, to say the least. Let's see. So next week's episode is going to be the Shan Ferments episode. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to you guys hearing that. And then it'll be Roadmap Brewing, and then it will be Spindle Tap. So looking forward to you guys hearing that. Looking forward to going up and recording in Monterey. That's going to be a blast. I'm just stoked, man. I'm super excited. Should be a great time. I'm going to be in San Diego next Saturday. And I'm debating whether I'm going to try to get a brewery on. I'd love to. We'll see if I can make it happen. But yeah, I'm going to be down there for the day, and then I go brewery hopping on Sunday with the boys. All right. I think that's all I got. So I hope, like I said, again, I hope all the mothers have a great Mother's Day. And I hope everybody listening has a great day, has a great Sunday, spending time with your moms. And then also hope you guys have a great week. All right. Well, I actually still got to pack. So I gotta get that shit done. Probably gonna make a burrito right now too. All right. Well, again, enjoy your Sunday, enjoy your week. Get out to a craft brewery. Maybe take your mom to a craft brewery, Have a couple brewskis. All right. But be safe. All right. Well, don't forget to support local, drink local, and find your beer. Cheers.